A makeshift hut perches on a giant stump. Inside, firelight flickers in the dark hollow. But this is just a temporary outpost. Pushing deeper into the green hell, Chuang navigates through tangled vines and towering ferns, his boots sinking into decaying foliage. Chiang pushes through the dense vines, sunlight piercing the canopy above as he moves with purpose. Scaling the moss-slicked trunk of a fallen titan, his eyes scan the chaotic network of roots. He isn't just looking for shelter, he's hunting for a fortress. He drops into a hollow stump. With bare hands, he tears at the earth and rotting wood, carving out his underground sanctuary. To conquer this earth, he needs better leverage. Drawing his heavy machete, he tests its weight, the steel gleaming with deadly promise as he approaches a stand of young, resilient saplings. The blade bites deep into the fibrous trunk. The jungle echoes with the sharp crack of splintering wood, a declaration of war against the wilderness. At the stump, the sharpened pole becomes a relentless piston, slamming it into the stubborn clay. A chuang breaks the crust, sending clumps of soil flying. Sweat stings his eyes, but he refuses to yield. He leaps, using his full weight to drive the spear deeper, inch by grueling inch, widening the cave's narrow throat. Thick, serpentine roots block the path. On a massive nodule, he drives a wedge with a heavy maul. The ancient tree trembles under his sheer brute force. An axe flashes in the dark. He carves 2 parallel cuts into the inner wall, measuring a future window with survivalist exactitude. The final horizontal strike severs the last connecting fibers. A sliver of emerald light pierces the gloom, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the confined space. With a final desperate kick, the rectangular block of wood gives way. The wall breaches and the vibrant, breathing jungle floods into the stale air of his newly carved sanctuary. He pushes the timber aside and peers through the new opening. Forest light floods in, turning the dark hollow into a bright observation post. Now the ground must be conquered. Hoisting a thick bamboo pole, he brings it down with a rhythmic, thunderous thud, compacting the loose earth into a solid, unyielding foundation. The bamboo strikes rhythmically against the roots. Each blow hardens the dirt floor, shaping a disciplined room to support his survival. The foundation is set. Now he needs the skeleton. Straddling a massive fallen log, he clears away the suffocating moss, his blade testing the density of the timber to ensure it can bear his life. Muscles tense as the machete bites into the wood, sending splinters flying with each powerful blow. He hoists the severed log onto his shoulder. Its weight presses his boots deep into the soft leaf litter. He navigates the steep incline, keeping his center low. The timber shifts with each step, a stark reminder that one slip means disaster. At the staging area, he drinks. Cool water soothes his throat. A brief relief before construction's brutal physics demand his attention again. Precision replaces brute force. His saw bites into the scored line, spitting fragrant sawdust as he cuts the trunk into manageable segments. The saw's rhythm becomes a hypnotic metronome. His back muscles ripple with the blade, showing the endurance needed to tame the wild. He gathers the cut cylinders. The sharp scent of sap fills the air, marking the shift from raw timber to refined materials. Eyeing the grain of the short logs, he selects a heavy wooden baton. There are no nails here. Only the ancient, unforgiving physics of wood splitting will yield the planks he needs. The log splits cleanly. He uses his blade tip to peel away bark and rot, keeping only the solid heartwood for the floorboards. He holds the plank to the light, squinting to check its edge. A warped board means a compromised floor. and compromise is a luxury he cannot afford. Stacking the sorted timber, he takes up his blade to plane the surface. The steel shaves off paper-thin curls, transforming a jagged piece of wood into a smooth, uniform plank. As wood shavings pile up, the planks reach perfect thickness and glass-like smoothness. They are no longer mere timber, but the skin of his future fortress. The finished boards are stacked neatly at the entrance, catching the sunlight and gleaming with a pale, natural luster. The raw materials are ready. The real architecture begins. Back at the block, Machete and Maul work in tandem. He splits timber with precision, each plank matching his mental blueprint. The stack grows, a neat monument on the forest floor. Now he carries this weight up into the canopy. Clutching the planks, he climbs the mossy roots of the ancient giant. Each step is a gamble on the slick bark as he hauls his livelihood upward. He clears the rotting wood from the massive stump to create a socket. This natural cradle anchors the pillars, fusing his build with the tree's strength. He slots a rigid pillar into the stump's natural gap, striking it tight to lock the vertical timber in place. Perched on the swaying frame, he strikes the pillar's crown. He carves a deep notch, creating a mortise to bear the crossbeam's weight. The crossbeam fits the socket. He hammers an iron spike through the joint, locking the timbers into one rigid frame. To resist lateral shear, he wedges diagonal braces between pillar and beam. This triangular truss locks the frame against the storm. High above, he weaves a dense grid of wooden slats. Each nail adds security, transforming a fragile scaffold into a robust, elevated platform. With the structure locked, he saws off the protruding posts. Wood chips rain down as the blade cuts through the timber. Now the hollow frame needs a skin. He lays the first thin plank across the beams, finding the best angle so edges interlock to spread his weight. As boards lock in place, the skeleton solidifies into a floor. He walks the new section, testing its flex and listening for the solid thud that confirms its strength. He straddles the high beam, aligning the first wooden shingles with meticulous care to shed the rain. He slides each shingle into its groove, patting it flat. The rhythmic slapping echoes through the trees as the protective canopy takes shape. He lifts a long board, studies its grain, and places it on the ridge to fortify the roof's peak. Leaning against the tree, he steadies the ridge cap and strikes. The sharp ring drives the nail deep, anchoring the roof's crown against fierce gales. With precise strikes, the nail sinks flush. The roof is sealed, a triumph above the jungle. Kneeling on the roof, he checks each shingle's edge to ensure proper overlap. This layering sheds rain, forming a shield against the storm. He descends into the hollow stump. Pressing the first plank into the damp earth, he uses his weight to sink it firmly into the soil. The damp earth is swiftly covered by pale timber. The space expands visually, the cold cavern becoming a dry, insulated sanctuary. Where ancient roots twist, he selects custom fragments, wedging them into corners to cover every inch of ground. His hands blur with practiced speed. Left placing, right tapping, the floor spreads outward fast, forming a pristine, comfortable platform deep in the tree's belly. With final taps, the roof seals against the walls. The structure is now a hermetically sealed wooden egg, hidden within colossal roots, the final barrier between man and beast. He lifts the massive door, aligning it into the track to seal his sanctuary. Stepping outside, he tests the door's glide one last time. It slides smoothly along its track, sealing with a satisfying thud. Grabbing his camouflage pack, he prepares to cross the threshold into his new life. Inside, he stashes his pack in the darkest corner. Running a hand over the smooth floor, pride swells. This is no longer just a hole in a tree. Shelter complete. He needs fuel. Emerging from the shadows, he scans for dry vines to keep the cold at bay. He scales the steep slope, his machete slicing through thick vines with focused precision. Crouching in the overgrown brush, he chops deadwood into small segments. Speed is key. Fading light demands a fire for his feast. Stripped branches are stacked into a neat pile. The sharp scent of broken twigs fills the air, promising warmth to come. He carries the firewood through dense brush, heading back to his tree base hearth. He strikes the flint, sparks catching the dry tinder. A gentle breath coaxes a fragile flame to life, pushing back the jungle shadows. He feeds thicker branches to the growing fire. Smoke spirals up through the root crevices. He returns with dry bark and a heavy log feeding the fire underscore it. It roars to life, casting a warm glow for the night ahead. He dips back into the sanctuary, emerging with a parcel of broad leaves guarding his precious rations. He unwraps the leaves, revealing plump sweet potatoes dusted with forest soil. He uses a stick to rake the coals, digging a pit in the ash. One by one, he buries the sweet potatoes to bake in the heat. He pulls the hot tuber from the ash and tears it open. Golden steam rises, revealing the vibrant flesh inside. He savors the sweet golden flesh. A rare smile breaks through his exhaustion. Surrounded by the monolithic, twisted roots of the ancient giant, he eats in profound solitude. The only sounds are the crackle of the dying fire and the distant rhythmic hum of the nocturnal jungle. Brushing the crumbs from his lips, he stares into the fading embers. The fire is dying, and with it, the day's adrenaline fades, replaced by the deep bone-weary ache of a body pushed to its absolute limits. Thirst claws at his throat. Hauling himself up to the entrance of his treehouse, he uncorks a bamboo water tube and tilts his head back, gulping down the cool, life-giving liquid in long, desperate drafts. He slides the heavy wooden door shut with a thud, sealing out the cold predators in the vast jungle, leaving him in the absolute safety of his sanctuary. Night falls. The stump stands silent in the dark, firelight dancing below while the sealed door hides the sleeping survivor within. He pulls the wooden grate shut, sliding it across to bolt the entrance tight and seal his sanctuary. He leans back against the curved earthen wall, finding a moment of rest in the dim yellow light. Head on his muddy sneakers, eyes shut, exhausted. Breathing smooths into a deep rhythmic cadence as sleep claims him. Light bleeds through the cracks. The dark forest swallows the stump. The jungle sleeps, and so does he.